this is Jason from McGuire's Clocks. Today we'll be taking a look at this English two-weight grandfather clock. It's from around the late 1700s to the very early 1800s. It's marked John Barrow, London. It is what's considered a chipwood case, where all these were just kind of, designs were chipped out of the case and carved into it. It's an ebonized case. The brass on it has been redone. I didn't do it. It was the customer before me that owned it that redid the brass on it, along with the dial. The dial is cleaned. It's not 100% redone. It was just cleaned up to make it where you can see the brass and all the details in it. It wasn't overly done. The top of this one, this whole entire top bonnet will slide off of it to expose the movement. It's 3 finials. Case is in good shape. I went through when I got it because, as is typical with these cases, it's pretty much some 1800s, 1700s horse glue and a few tack nails that hold these things together, and they tend to fall apart and come apart at the seams. This one's been, I've put some blocks in it and glued some new stuff to make the structure of it really sound so that it won't move around on you. And it also has adjustable feet in the bottom to make it easier to set up now. It is a solid brass dial with brass overlays in it for the corners, spandrels, if you want to call them that. Silver chapter ring for the time, and then a silver chapter ring for the seconds. This one does have a date on it, and unlike a lot of them, this one actually functions. A lot of times the functionality of this will be removed on these. I'm not 100% sure why, but my guess is that because these were all kind of hand built, that there may have been issues along the way with getting them to work, and so they would just remove them to keep the clock going. Because they're a pretty simple system, and most of them, there's no reason for them not to work other than if they just didn't work to really begin with. This one strikes just the hour, not the half hour, and it does it on a bell, a cast bell. And this one's run down, so let me correct it real quick. So while I'm doing this, I'll explain this. There's 2 versions of a strike system in most clocks. One's a count wheel, which is what this has, and the other one's called a rack and snail. Now with the count wheel, if the clock ever runs down, because the strike side doesn't really talk to the chime side, other than to tell it, hey, it's time to strike, you can get the chime to get off from what the time actually says on the dial. Now the way to fix that, and this is with an American clock, antique German clock, or even an English clock like this one, is you walk it up close to the top, you'll hear it make a shunt noise where it starts to engage the hour, and then pull it back. And you just keep doing this until you get to the correct time. So that was 7, it's going to be 8, so now we're just going to go ahead and pull it through the hour. Didn't plan on showing anyone that in this video, but there you go. So on with showing what it is. This one has a lock for this bottom door. It does work. Again, don't usually always get the functioning lock with it. Very simple weights. These are just cast iron or steel weights that are in here. Very heavy. There's 2 of them. Nothing fancy about it. Same with the pendulum, brass bob, metal rod that runs up to the suspension spring in it. It is a very good timekeeper, as most of these older ones like this are. But yeah, it's an English tall case. Ebonized wood, chipwood case. Brass has been cleaned up on it. Movement's been completely gone through on it. New bushings, pivots polished. Cable replaced if it needed to replace the cable on it. Get a 2-year warranty with it, just like if it was one of the new clocks. Thank you and have a great day.